So I've been hearing quite a bit about this van life idea, this like idea that you just leave work, get a van, figure out some way to live in it, hit the road and just go. And part of it is so appealing to me. Like I grew up in Westphalia. All my summers we spent in Westphalia. So I understand kind of that appeal of hitting the road and just like taking off. But I thought I'd just look at it from a career strategy perspective. Like, does it make sense to leave work and do that? Whether it's for 2 years, 10 years, does it make sense to do it? And one of the things that I just haven't seen anybody get around at work is a question that'll come up at some point in your life. It might come up early, you might be able to kind of postpone it for a while, but the question is, what should I be doing with my life? And what should I be doing with my work? And if your answer to that question is purely one-sided, if it's purely inwardly focused or only worrying about what you want out of work or life, that tends to run its course. It tends to become quite boring after a little while because work needs to attach itself to somebody else. It needs to try to improve the life of somebody else for it to be truly fulfilling. So when that question creeps up for you, if your answer is purely one-sided, I think that people will start to look for something more. And so at that point, what do? Because the hard part of van life it's not quitting and jumping in a van and going. I mean, there's a ton of appeal to that, right? It might take a little bit of guts, but at the end of the day, there's a ton of appeal to that. The hard part is the reentry. So you do that for a certain amount of time, that question creeps up in your life, what should I be doing? Your answer is purely one-sided. You decide to come back, get into some form of work, and how do you do it? How do you prove value during that time? One of the things that is just so important in work, and there's kind of moments when it's more important than others, is this idea of career traction. Like, are you picking up speed or are you not picking up speed? And if you can prove traction, there's a lot of value that can come from that long term. If you can't prove traction, you start to have a more difficult time getting deeper into work. And so for people who want to hit the road, whether it's van life or you want to just go live somewhere else for a little while, somehow you need to be able to prove value to somebody else when you get back. So my point is, don't not do it. I mean, lots of people are having a great time hitting the road for a couple of years. So go for it. If that's what you want to do, go for it. But at the end of the day, you need to find a way to prove value back to other people. So along the way, can you interview somebody at every stop? Can you prove to the outside world that you're a master marketer? Can you write a book or do a study or do something that kind of shows value to this bigger picture of work that you want to accomplish? That way you can kind of satisfy that internal part, but also satisfy the external part of what work will end up asking for from you. So that's my take on van life. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you're taking to these videos, feel free to subscribe, like, and give them a comment. Thanks again.